From an early age, artist Shannon Lawler's respect and love of animals has inspired her to capture rare and magical moments in her artwork.
I grew up in a small town in southwestern Manitoba by the name of Kenton. There were about 200 people living in town, and it's a small farming and ranching community. And I lived right in town, but my parents always had a supply of horses for us in a barn on the outskirts of town. So I've always been inspired by them and fascinated by them. Being around them is like breathing for me. I've come to know, thankfully, how they think and what they feel like and what they smell like and how they feel when you're riding them, when it feels right and when it's wrong. And, you know, I've started hundreds of colts, and that's still probably one of my favorite things to do. It's a very satisfying thing for me, and as was all the work that I did with them and collected all the experiences that I have that I now incorporate into my artwork. I like acrylics simply because they're very easy to clean up, and it almost can give you instant gratification in that it dries so quickly you can just go from one step to the next. And for a lot of detail in a painting, it actually works really well. Throughout my life, my work has revolved around horses and riding and working with them. You know, the things that I paint are a direct relation to what I've done and what I've seen and been there and experienced the things that you see on canvas. 9 times out of 10, I see the horses doing something or the wildlife or whatever it is that I'm painting, and I almost have a sense of panic because I want to capture whatever's happening at that moment. And the initial feeling that I have when I see a horse moving a certain way or a horse and rider doing something that represents excellent horsemanship or something really fine, that's the inspiration. And then the excitement carries over to when I do the drawing of the image and then go ahead and paint it. And you know, you always have that idea in your mind of how you want it to look. And as the process is taking place, it's a little bit like a roller coaster. There's stages of the painting process that it doesn't really look like anything, or you think, oh, this isn't going to turn out, or, you know, and an hour later it can be taking a turn for the worse or for the better. So when I see it evolving, and it's working the way I want it to in my mind and how I think it should look in the end, it's very, very satisfying. I mean, it really gives me a sense of peace. The feedback that I get from the people that know horses and work with, you know, on ranches and the real cowboys, when they see my pieces and they look at it and they know it's right and that the horse is moving the way it should be, or, you know, he's executing a maneuver that's correct, or that you would see it in that certain setting. And I guess that's become really important to me, to make sure that what's going on in my paintings and what I'm trying to convey with Western culture is right. I do think that Western culture is probably struggling to survive, and in some sense I think this is my attempt to save some of those moments in time and preserve them and have people not just that are involved in the Western culture enjoy them, but have them there for everybody to see and to critique and enjoy.